An English garden isn't just a place, it's a feeling, a blend of beauty, calm, and effortless charm. And you can bring that feeling home. Think of soft florals, faded linens, and time worn textures. Blush roses in a porcelain jar. Books stacked beside a blooming windowsill. Layer pastel tones with garden greens. Mix dainty china with rustic wood. Let ivory spill like fragrance linger. Whether it's a single bloom in a teacup or a hallway washed in sunlight and sage, you're not just decorating, you're painting peace, growing beauty, living in blossom. Because an English garden doesn't need soil, just a soft place to land and a heart that loves beauty. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. This ties in perfectly with the garden imagery of the idea of life that is continuously nourished, even through dry seasons, just like the eternal promise of resurrection and renewal celebrated at Easter. Okay guys, let's first talk about where my inspiration came from. My inspiration came from this magazine. This is the Crate and Barrel new magazine that came out for spring. So I got this, was sitting on the couch and was flipping through it, right? So as I was going through the magazine, I stopped on this article, right? So as you guys can see from this article, the name of the article is An English Garden Always in Bloom. And when I read that, a light bulb went off. I said, okay, I know how I am going to redo my space. Now, I know that I just did my space, but I like to redo my space and give you guys new inspiration for your space. Maybe you didn't like the space I did before, and maybe you're gonna like this space better, or you like the other one better. But this one is for me trying to give you guys inspiration, right? Now, as you can see from this, you're seeing the different type of flowers, and you're also seeing the different colors. Now, typically for spring, we gravitate to the hydrangeas and the tulips and the peonies. Those are what we typically would gravitate to for spring. But guess what? That's not it only, right? You want to also gravitate to all these other beautiful color flowers as well. So we have all these flowers with all these different colors in it. And that's when I said to myself, why don't I incorporate a more of a garden feel in my space versus just having the typical hydrangeas only going on in the lilies, let me incorporate more into my space. I want my space to feel like a garden. When I walk into it, I want it to feel open and airy and fresh. We all know that's what we get when we walk into the garden, that nature feel coming into the space. So I did some faux arrangements, and I also did some real arrangements to mix it all together, right? So the first place that I wanted, because my mind was thinking, I want to redo the coffee table and kind of simplify it just a little bit. So I am going to go over my coffee table decor with you and showed you how I layered each thing and why I used the pieces that I used. First, on the coffee table, the first thing I did is I changed out the vase that I had, and I decided to go with this white ceramic vase versus the clear vase that I had here before with the hydrangeas. Then I decided to add some different type of flowers in here, right? So I added these. These were with the hydrangeas. I decided to take them out. Remember now, my view is to my TV, so I didn't want it too high, right? So I added these, and when I added it, it looked nice, but it just wasn't giving me that English garden that I was going for. So I incorporated these in there. So I added these in there, and I've always had these, so I did shop my home for the majority of this styling. So I added these in there to bring some color in. So this amber color is bringing in all of the gold that I have going on in my space. It also brings in the yellow stems that I also have throughout my space, which you're gonna see a little bit later in the video. And when I did that, I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about, right? And then after that, I decided to add a real floral arrangement. So guys, when I tell you these colors right here is given, you're getting that little hint of yellow, you're getting all that nice beautiful green. This is the green that I'm using in my space, along with it ties into the green that I have going on over there in that corner. Now, to add a little bit of depth to my already large and black coffee table, to lift that black up just a little bit, I decided to use books, but I decided to use colored books this time, right? So you can see I have the different color books going on here, which again is bringing in all the colors and the blossom that you will be seeing in an English garden. And to tie everything together, I decided to put my Caesar head, right? Think of it, English garden, Caesar. You see the connection? Yes. So I decided to bring out my Caesar head and add it to the styling as well. Then I went ahead and I added the black candlesticks with they're not really black, they're like a gunmetal color. So I decided to add these here again to give a little bit of height, but I wanted this dark color because I already have a lot going on in terms of color, but I just wanted to add just a little bit of interest and to help incorporate the Caesar head just a little bit more, right? So that is how I decided to style the coffee table, and I think it turned out beautiful. And it's gonna be hard for me to change this, guys, to give you guys another styling. Okay, so that is what I did with the coffee table. Now let's move on to my console, which was the next thing that I was gonna style. It was gonna be my console and this table. I wasn't gonna do some of the other stuff that I did do. So let's move on to the console. Okay guys, here is the console that you saw me styling, and you will notice in the video that I styled with something and then I changed it out, and that is quite okay. You want to try things out. If it's not working out for you, it's okay, just change it out. And I kept it in there so that you guys can see that that is okay. You know, try something, step back, look at it. Does it look right to you? Nah, I don't like this. And then let's change it out, okay? Even though people feel us interior designers don't have challenges, we do have challenges, okay? So it is quite okay if you put something together and you end up not liking it. All right, so what I decided to do is I had two of these flanking each side of this table, but I got tired of that look. So I took one down and I decided to put another tall vase here, which you saw before, but now you saw where I have switched it back to this. This color blends way better with this table. The other one was a little too white. Even though this is a little bit whiter than this one, this helps to tone everything down. The other one was just being a little too show-offish. She was showing off herself. And what I decided to do over here on this side is I decided to bring in a whole completely different color flower. So I added these. I got these from Michael's. Yeah, from Michael's, and it's 4 of them in here. So I went ahead and I added these into this, which is creating this whole nother episode going on over here. They are of a fuchsia type color, so I really like that colorway, adding that into the space, because it's not a cool color, but it's a warm color, which will blend in with all of the other florals that I have going on in my space. Then again, remember we're thinking on that English garden theme, so I went ahead and I brought out this bus again, and this one is black, right? The black against this, beautiful. And to elevate it, I added some books, right? And then what I did with the candlesticks is I did the high and low with the candlesticks, but I made them 2 different candlesticks versus the same, because I still needed some interest being added here. And of course I kept my candles a dark color versus using the white. I feel like the white is more appropriate in the winter time and the fall time. That's just my opinion, guys. That's not design law, okay? So I also brought in this brushed gold color candlestick along with this gunmetal one as well into the space. And then I just added this chain, this wooden chain here, just again to add some color. This is where I keep my keys, my purse when I walk in the house. So I'm not gonna move that to just for the video. I'm showing you that my table is still functional for me. Okay, and of course I have my artwork that I always have here. Now what you can do different is you can change your artwork out. okay? And you can put something that has more botanical print as your artwork versus, you know, this type of an artwork. Now, if I was really going all out for spring, I would have changed out my artwork, but I like to do things on a budget, and I like my designs to make sense to me. Not in terms of just how it looks, but it needs to make sense to my pocket. And I'm not going to buy an artwork just for spring, okay? Another tip that I would give is I could have got some peel and stick botanical print and put it over this, but I think this still works, so I left it. Okay guys, so that is how I styled my console. And for anyone that wants to ask me where I got my console from, I DIY'd it. I made it myself, okay? I saw one that I was in love with that looks just like this. It's just that it was longer, but I was not willing to pay the $1,000 that it cost, so I made this one myself. Next, let's move on to what I did on my island. Okay guys, here is my island, and what I did here, I kept it real simple. I took the tray that was on my coffee table and I relocated here. That is the thing, moving stuff around to give your space a completely different look. What this black does, it contrasts very well with my countertops. And you guys would have seen in the clip that I had a completely different vase here. So the vase that I had here was black, but the black was just too black for me. Okay, it was taken away from that English garden vibe that I was going for. And I replaced it with my arrangement that I had on my coffee table. Along with that, I went ahead and I added this small bowl right here, and I added some apples to it. And yes, these are real apples, just to bring in some color and soften this up. I needed this to be soft. That's why I changed it from having the black here, because I didn't want this to complete with the fuchsia flowers that I have, arrangement that I have over there. I needed everything to flow and blend with each other, and the black was killing it. Okay, the black wasn't doing it. The cherry blossoms in it was fine, but the black wasn't doing it for me. Plus, my hydrangeas are so realistic. I didn't want to put them away yet. It's not time for them to be put away. They're probably going to be out until fall, okay? I'm just warning you, and I'm letting you know now. And then I just went ahead and I added my diffuser here, my scent diffuser, here to bring in that fragrance that I also need to be in my space. Don't forget your fragrances, guys, okay? The next thing that I did in my space is I didn't do much over here, but I did add a tray on top of my table just to balance it out. And I don't know, the bowl was looking kind of empty by itself there, even though the bowl has fruits and all of that going on in it, but it was looking empty. So I just kind of did a layering effect on the table. So let's look at that. Okay guys, so here is my table. Like I said, I kept it very simple. I didn't do much change on here, but I did add this marble tray here, and then I put the bowl on top of it, right? This table is very lightweight. The quality of it is not all that, right? When I did this, I went with high and low. So I did the expensive chairs and I did a more affordable table. So the weight of that marble tray has really helped to settle this table for me. Okay, so this bowl with the fruits in it, I actually DIY this again. So if you're gonna ask, hey, where did you get that from? I actually DIY'd it, okay? And then over here in this corner, this is the yellow stems that I was mentioning that ties in what's going on the coffee table visually. Everything is tied in together. I've always had those stems, so I have them here and I have them over there at my entry as well. So everything is tying in beautifully together. No matter how you make your turn in the home, you're seeing fresh looking florals. You're seeing these different pops of colors in my neutral space. That's why I keep saying to you guys, it is so vital to ensure that you create a neutral space. So once you have a neutral base to work with, you can do what I am doing right now, right? And it not hurt your pocket. Okay, so let's look over at my console. And I didn't really change anything about the console, but I want you to see how everything is tying back into the other. Okay guys, so this is my console, and as you can see, I didn't change anything, but I want you to see how I tied everything together. So here we have these amber candlesticks that I have here with the black, again, my black candlesticks, and then I have my gold ball here. So it ties everything this way, right? And then when we get on this side, this is the part that I am in love with, right? When you're sitting on my sofa and you look this way, you're getting all this beautiful different shades of green. That's why I didn't swap and put this vase over on this side, because over on this side, it kind of don't disturb your view to the TV. But over on this side, that would have compete with my plants that I have right here, okay? But what I did is I kept it low and I kept it in the same color family. So when you look at that visual, you're getting all of these beautiful different shades of green going on in that visual. And when I tell you, it is something beautiful, something that the camera cannot show you. You hear me? It is gorgeous. I love how my space turned out, and I hope you guys get inspired. If you see a picture anywhere, go ahead, look, see what inspiration you get. If you stopped at the picture and look, that means you're getting some kind of inspiration from it, because that's what I did. I was going and I'm looking at furniture. There was furniture all throughout there, right? Furniture, vases, all these stuff in the crate and babble. But when I got to that page, I stopped. Literally in my tracks, I stopped. And the inspiration and the creativity started to flow. Now, one would say, she got all this from that. Yes, I did. I developed a theme from just that one picture and that one quote. An English garden always in bloom. That is the theme for this video. That is the theme for this decor that I did in my space for spring. We're still in spring, guys. You just never know, because I always got something going on over here. So guys, stay tuned for my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop it down in the comment section. Tell me which part of the design you like. Tell me if you're gonna try any of it. And again, don't be afraid to try new things in your home and to think outside the box. That's the most important thing in design. If you want to get a curated space, think outside the box. And remember, it's okay to get inspiration from somewhere, because we designers, we get inspiration from somewhere. Nothing was created from ground. It was inspired. Something about it was inspired from somewhere. Okay, it could be from a dress, it could be from someone makeup, it could be from anything. You can get inspiration from anything. So don't be afraid to go searching for inspiration for the decor for your next space. Guys, on that note, I will see you guys on my next upload. And don't forget, don't allow your budget to dictate your design.
You know it's creeping up on me. This frostbite gets deep into my bloodstream. Just trying to make the most of it. Babe, I miss your body. You make some kind of fire within me. It's almost like it's burning through my skin. hoping for some brighter days. 'Cause I'm falling in the snow, it's getting me deep. You make some kind of